Thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey, pray. Thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey,
Okay, I'm ready. I got this. Dear people, please pray for Desiree, cause she needs it. Yo, it's your girl Jessica Smith, and you have entered the safe space for influencers to decompress, have fun, and just ask. I'm super excited about today, but before we get into today, y'all know what y'all love. Desiree. Hey. Desiree. Hey. Desiree. What's up, you guys? I'm excited. I'm kind of embracing it a little bit. Yeah, because she started trying to drop the beat before I did, but it's like, girl, that I have to, it's not a control thing, but it's like, you do so well too. Thank you. Yeah, because it's my song to you, because you are so Desiree. I'm so sad. To me, they don't want that. They like, I think y'all like that a little bit. I like the beat one. Yeah, it give you a little sauce. It give you a little sauce. Yeah, drip out. Drip out. Y'all, listen. This is a special week, you guys. I know I say I have a lot of special guests come in, but this one it might not be special to you, but he, and I say he, is definitely special to me. He's a pastor. He's a son. He's a husband. But most importantly to me, he's a father. My daddy. The great Kenneth W. Smith. What my daddy? What's my daddy? What 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 my daddy? Yeah. What was it? I take my breath and like, daddy, yeah. Hey, daddy.
All right.
Yeah. Listen, I'm so out of ear to ear because when I say I'm a daddy's girl, I'm a daddy's girl at heart. I remember my mom telling me, y'all, okay, so let me go ahead and apologize to my mom right now because there's a video. This is how much I found out I was a daddy girl. You tell them if I'm telling the truth, baby. There's a video that I watched, and me and Killer were just randomly watching videos there. And we were, I guess, at Disney World because Justin, went to one of the trips, and we was in the water. We was in the water, and my mom, I guess, was trying to play the water with me, and I wouldn't have it. Y'all, don't do this. I'm not, please. But I slapped my mom, and I was like, oh my gosh. I immediately called her. Because I was like, I'm so sorry. She was like, girl, you just so in love with your dad. How you want to with your daddy this and daddy that. And so she made sure I knew that I have forever been a daddy's girl. Oh my God, I'm super excited for you to be here. This one personally, y'all. Now, so if you miss out on this grace, I don't know what y'all coming for because this one personal to me. This one personal to me. But Dad, how you feeling today?
Well, I don't know how to feel, but I'm definitely excited about being here. You've been talking in the last couple of years about you going to invite me, and I was hoping you continue to forget. And I thought this season had gone by before you asked me to do it. And when you asked me, I said, "Well, I got to tell you yes." So I'm here.
Yeah, you gotta tell me yes, because I'm a daddy's girl, and you gotta tell me yes. Why would you tell me no? You cute. Because you know that word well. Listen, y'all, my dad was strict. Look, I like this girl, my dad was strict because he was, just to give y'all a backstory of like me being a daddy's girl, I have a good father. Let's start right there. Like every man, especially a black man, is not a deadbeat father. And I think that's one of the reasons why during this time we're approaching Father's Day. And a lot of that brings a lot of people heartache. Like it brings a lot of frustration to people. And so I'm going to ask you some questions from myself, but also from people that I pose the questions. So today I wrote on Facebook and I asked people, hey, what would be one question that you would ask your father? And you don't have to ask on the behalf of everybody, but just for us to have a conversation. I think that would be healthy for the community to see like a good, healthy father-child, specifically father-daughter conversation. Like, so I think that's what's missing in that dynamic. So you ready?
Let's go.
So my first question is, where did you learn how to be a father?
Well, to be honest, what I didn't gather from my father, I actually really gathered from TV. Actually, to me, the model father was the dad from the break lunch. Never knowing that I grew up and ended up in a mixed family like that. Wow. I used to want to be an architect and all that because of Mr. Brady, and I just thought that the way that he managed that family with it being a blended family just was what I dreamed of having as and growing up poor and not having anything else. They never declared themselves to be rich, but at the end of the day, they were living well off, and he had a good relationship with all the kids, his boys, the girls that came with the wife, and even the maid. It just was a well-rounded family, and that's what I envisioned as a family.
That is so interesting. I'm surprised at that. The Brady Bunch. Yeah. So with that being said, is that when you start watching that show, is that what inspired you to want to be a father, or what made you desire that?
My desire to be a father was one of the things I wanted was to bring life to the world, to keep the family tree alive and going. Up to me, it was a lot of brokenness, a lot of unknowns, and I just wanted this extension of the branch to be more sound. Everything go the way I wanted to go, but then I'm glad that I can say that even with the kids that I had, the children that I had, I can see a positive future on this branch of our family.
That's so good. So what I heard you just say is that you focus on your branch and you made sure that your branch was healthy to stand.
Yes.
Where did you learn the tools from? Because so we got to kind of give a backstory, and I'm gonna let you give the backstory. So give the dynamics of your children. So what who did you have when they go in? We talking about great bunch. Well, how many baby mamas you got?
I would clarify that my first thing that I had 0 baby mamas. I had wives. Okay,
well, correctly, you did. But them folks not your wives no more, so you got baby mamas. I'm just like, he did have children in wedlock, so that is valid. Okay, I'm going to tell you.
When you were conceived and born, people counted back to see if you got every cause.
Was I conceived that early?
No, it's just people try to make something be what, I guess folks when they have kids, I don't know what.
I guess folks when they have kids, like, so how long were you married to my mom, who was your first wife?
Right.
How long were y'all married before I was conceived? Who was your first daughter? Your first child?
We got married in late 90, and you were born in 92, so you were conceived in 91, so probably a little over a year.
Oh, okay. Why would it? Anyway.
But something they probably didn't know when we got married.
Yeah.
About that, I was there.
Ah, okay. Cool beans. So go down your children. Mm-hmm. Shout all them out so they feel good about themselves.
Okay. So what you want me to say? I mean, who they are?
Yeah, kind of. You got to give the dynamic because I think our situation is, well, this is your situation because I ain't got kids. I'm just the
problem. But you gonna tell me how y'all got here?
Well, yeah, just like because when I start asking questions, Daddy, we can't just be like, oh, well, you know, it's like, hold on, what? So we clarified that you've been a husband at each conception of a child. Okay, that's first dynamic. I'm first. I want to reiterate that I'm the first child. Then we got Kendall. Me and Kendall have the same mom. All right. Then we transfer over to Kirsten. Y'all heard me talk about her before, but y'all haven't seen her. That was with her mother. And then and then we have KJ, who is Kenneth II. Kenneth W. Smith II, and with your current wife, shout out to my bonus mother, Desiree Smith. Folks get us confused, y'all. If I wrote down my name and her name, folks call me Jessamine. They get us confused with my name just because her name is Jessamine. It's a whole dynamic. So Dad has had to navigate families in different seasons with different people. But it seems like, Dad, you have a gift of consistency with how you father. But there have been some challenges. What has been your greatest challenge with being a father, and how have you overcome it?
I would say that my greatest challenge, I consider that probably two great challenges that I've had while being a father. The greatest one has been with Kirsten, being the only child that wasn't with me every day. Mm-hmm. You and Kendall were with me every day until y'all got out of school. JJ's with me every day, until he graduates or whatever. Kirsten and I was separated because of divorce. I think she was 2. So it was hard adjusting to being every other weekend kind of father when you used to being hands-on. And I know Kendall was affected. I don't know, you didn't talk about it as much. The fact that it looked like I was easier on Kirsten than I was on you all. And a lot of that came because, I didn't tell y'all thought I was me. Because you had to go down the hall and go to bed and deal with it. But I know y'all knew I loved you all. Mm-hmm. There was no question that y'all say, man, that mean, Desiree, please help me. And remember, I'm coming back to when Jessica tried to run away one time.
I got you. Here we go. Come on with the story.
But I didn't want to be that person that saw my child 4 to 6 days out of a month. And the only thing she knows that he yelled at me. I didn't want to be too easy on her, but at the same time, I want her to feel love and have fun with her dad and at the time her sisters when she came. The other thing that was tough on me was having to leave y'all when I went overseas for the war. And relinquishing y'all to young mama for us here in our time. That was the greatest part of my prayer life, though.
Wow.
I probably prayed more those 7 to 8 months than I probably ever prayed. And I've had cancer twice.
Right.
And I prayed more when I was separated from you all than I probably prayed the rest of it. But still 57 years. Yeah. Almost 58 years of my life, because I wasn't I would never imagine being away from y'all because y'all were my heart, y'all my life. So, everything that I did, everything that I tried to accomplish was about you all. I missed out on female companionship because of you all, because y'all folks didn't want to accept that my daughters were more important than you are until you give me a reason for you to be more.
No, that's real, Dad. I'm glad we're going there because let's just call it spade a spade. Being a woman now, a 30-year-old woman, I'm like, wow, I could not imagine being, for one, an adult with 2 children, 1 income, to the opposite sex.
Remember at one time, no income.
Yeah, it was like, when I say God kept us, like, I'm never gonna forget when you came home, and I got in trouble for school for it, because I was so mad. But you came home and we were in awareness that you had just received a penny check. And that's when they told me they was gonna suspend me from school. And I told them, hey, I'm gonna call my daddy because you want me to spend $6 on this field trip or this science project, and he just got a penny check. Like, you don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I heard those things, and I want to acknowledge those things because it wasn't easy to navigate. Like, you're this man trying to not only navigate through your life, but navigate the process of being a father to daughters. What did you glean and depend on? Like, how did you not only process that, because you had both of your parents in your life while you grew up. They eventually got divorced, but you had both of your parents. How did you navigate, for one, getting divorced for the first time, right? Then navigating not only getting divorced, but being a father to daughters, because I think it would have been different. It would definitely been different if we were boys. We saw that when you nurtured Justin. That's my older brother for those that don't know. But what kept you in those moments? Like, what motivated you in those times, during that time?
Yeah, the only motivation I needed was y'all my children, and I loved you, and it was my responsibility. I've never wanted to be a statistic. That's one thing I might not have seen, like, Mom might disagree, but I fought for the marriage because I've never wanted to be a negative statistic. Just like right now, as much stress as it is to be a pastor, I don't want to be a statistic. There are too many people getting out of the ministry because of the stress that comes with it. And this same kind of stress came with parenting. And I just didn't want to be a statistic, and I didn't want my children to be a statistic. So I no matter how much I had to do, fight, whatever, I was determined that we were going to be what I believe God wanted us to be. And I never felt like God made me or allowed me the opportunity to make y'all to be a negative statistic.
Yeah. So you brought up your relationship with God of when you when you had to leave us to go overseas. What was that process of trusting God to be our Father? Because it's one thing that I understand of trusting God to be your Father, but trusting God to be our Father. What was that process like for you?
Again, through a lot of prayer and trying to live in the faith that I said that I had. I worried, but then I had to let go and let God. I called y'all every opportunity that I got. Cell phones ain't like that now.
Yeah.
Everything was more expensive then, and I still got that phone in my drawer that I bought in Germany that I called y'all from. And it just took, I knew that if I had, though there might be some things I need to talk to a psychologist or psychiatrist about, I definitely would have had to then, because I probably would have had a nervous breakdown. The test to that I had completely turned over to God is that I did not get upset. Because you remember Kendall broke her arm once.
Yeah, I was there. I was there when Kendall broke her arm.
And I was mad. But me, and you've seen me angry before.
Yeah.
And the angry that I had the potential to get, the calm that I was in Turkey then. Yeah. And we were in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And then I had to ask myself, what can you do? Mm. What is your anger going to do? You said you trust God. Kendall's okay. Whatever you do. I never asked any other questions about when she's going out. I know she's going to have cast on. Blah, blah, blah. Never do any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. I just turned over and let God allow your mother to be the mother. And my whole prayer was, when I get back, I don't have to fight this one for my children. I will do what I have to do, because I need them to come home. And y'all at that point waiting on me when I got back, and y'all were never away from me again. After that. So
it sounds like you take pride in being able to have raised us. What does that do for you as a man? Like, how does that fatherhood connect to your manhood, or your foundation of being one?
I mean, it's just important to me the Bible speaks to what is expected of a parent or a father, to be more specific. And I imagine that anything other than what I've done would just hurt, because, you, like you said earlier, you put a question out there, what would you ask your dad? And I almost cried reading the responses. I'm like, how do people do that? I mean, I can you not, I mean, if y'all came out there and looked like me, we were gonna go see that. we were gonna see Dana, but y'all, you came out with my lips, came out of the womb singing. We were about to go see Dana. Look, because the truth be told, I think you know this. Me and your mom we were trying to get pregnant. And it was not happening. We knew your mom could get pregnant because she had a child, and I hadn't made any kids. I went to see a urologist, and he told me that it was possible for me to make babies, and he told me his story, that he basically in the same state I can't swim, so my boys didn't want to swim either. Yeah. So they swam, they floated, but I guess one family got determined enough that was you. That determined enough that you jumped over some of the other ones and whatever, bounce whatever, however you got it.
It's a description for me. Oh my God.
However you got there, you decided to get there, but the doctor said there was slim to no chance. So you better had looked like me.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because people don't know. People don't really know this. Desiree, did you know that I'm really considered a miracle child, because Daddy really only had a 2% chance of having children. And he got 4.
Yeah, I got 4.
He has 4. So for those, even if a man is hearing this right now, that is experiencing it, my dad is really the evidence of they could be wrong. Like, real talk, like he got 4 kids biologically, right? And so, when you heard those words, what was your mindset? Because it seems like that you've always wanted to be a father. Like, because I don't know about the men nowadays. See, everybody don't want to be a father, but it seems like that was a part of your goal.
I always wanted a family. And I wanted it the right way. I didn't want the multiple wives, but I wanted my wife to mother my kids. So, it just, to be able to do the things that I did get to do with my dad, and some of the stuff that I wanted to do with my dad, and I didn't get a chance to do. I can count on I probably count on my hand how many my basketball games my dad came to. And mom came no more, but I can't say she came to a bunch of them. But I promised myself, if my kids played sports, I was gonna be there. I mean, I was there.
Yeah.
Now my wife now trying to get my son to play all these things that I don't even think she would be sports. she gonna be me.
I know. Because she gonna watch this one. She gonna watch this one full, okay? Don't get him.
She want my son to be the next lacrosse champion, and I'm like, I can't cross that river well.
They don't understand something. They like, I want to be able to holler. Give me something to be able to holler at. One of the things I want to point out, I brought up Justin. I brought up Justin. There was a choice that you made with Justin, who is not biologically your son.
Right.
And from my understanding that you met Justin when he was 3 years old, and you were only dating my mom at the time. So you have been a stepfather.
Yes.
How do you navigate? Because a lot of people, a lot of men are like, are not encouraged to, be the stepdad or embrace that type of relationship. Or like you were, let me just break this down. No, I was so upset when I found out that my brother was not my dad's biological child, because I did not sense that was true. Not by the way that my brother was loved by my dad, to the point where it was a period of time where Justin was with us, even in the midst of the divorce or after the divorce. He eventually had to, go with my mom, but I couldn't tell. Like I just couldn't tell. I was so confused. What motivated you to produce that type of love to a child that wasn't yours?
Well, first of all, I love his mama, and I can't love her and not love something that's a part of her.
That's so good. That's so good. It's your finance. Yeah. He said, look, my dad said, I said what I said. Like, so for men that are in that predicament, what encouragement would you have for them that can't get beyond that there's a child outside of the union that they have?
Well, Jesus.
Listen, y'all don't get that old school straight that Methodist answer. With my dad. He ain't got no long-winded conversation about that.
We want that spirit of adoption and sonship when it comes to our relationship with the Lord, so why not live that out in uniform? So
with that being said, do you think that there's a disconnect when someone can't accept another child? The disconnect is because it was a reflection, let me say this, it's a reflection of their relationship with God?
A lot of times it is. Enough people can't stay married for the same reason.
So
let me say this from your mom can't claim this, but I know the other two can. Mm-hmm. Because two of the main qualifiers of me being your husband is, one, you gotta have a relationship with the Lord. Mm-hmm. And two, you gotta tithe. If you don't tithe, you can't be my wife. If you don't love the Lord and you can't go to church, you can't be my wife.
So, in the stance where with my mom, was that not as important, or what was the disconnect when you made
Well, when the other two, I was preaching and or pastoring. So I was in another place.
Yeah.
When I met your mom, I was just a black man, just wanted to love And church was a part of my life, but it wasn't. As a matter of fact, I was a decent giver then, but I was not tithing yet. And even when I began tithing, I structured it from a giving perspective where, because, you know, when I was growing up, folks was putting $2 and $5 in church. So I used to get excited about the $5 in church. And I got some folks who still in the world doing that today. You know, I pastored some of them. But I began to hear the teachings of the pastor, and at that time, because the way my debt to income was structured, I just couldn't just jump to 10%. So
this is so good.
I went from those $2 and $5 to $20. Then I went to 30. Then I went to 40. Then I went to 50. I went to 60, and I kept increasing. Then as I was increasing, I was still getting raises and stuff. Then finally, what ended up happening was I went to calculate it, and I was getting a little bit more than 10%. Then I started to learn. I learned this while I was overseas. When I was away from you all, I was making more money in the military than I was at home. So one of the prayers I prayed to the Lord and the promise I made to God, I said, my orders was for 1 year, minimum 2 years maximum. Yeah. So I was hoping going at least a year. Yeah. I got home in 7 months, and my prayer to God was, if you allow me to get home early to my children, I make more here than I do there. But what I'm giving you now is what I give you when I get back home. So instead of 10%, I probably was getting about 17%. And what God did within the next 2 to 3 years, He made equivalent my income. I'm getting raises and I got to adjust my giving because my giving already exceeded. Ooh. So God adjusted my income to equate my giving. And all that was from faith.
Oh, David, the preacher that came out of you right now. So that was good. So what I'm hearing from you is that the part of you that identifies with being a father motivated you in multiple areas as to your love life, your relationship with God, and I guess your very being. So I think that I'm kind of seeing here, Desiree, in like amazement, because I know, like, and I'm trying my best. I got a tissue right here. I'm trying my best not to cry, but because, like you said earlier, there is so many people that have not experienced this level of love from a father, like a physical father. So much so that that we experience that you're a lot of our friends will say, "Hey, Daddy," like, you know. And someone probably
I'm just glad they got people child support from them. Boy,
how many did?
And they still call me that. They still call me that.
It has never been Mr. Smith. I'm gonna tell you something. You probably don't remember this. And shout out to Sherelle, or Chandra. It's Sherelle. Magic. Shout out to Magic. I don't know if you even remember this, Dad. And this is I thought about this not even too long ago. I think it was something to do with homecoming, I think. Yeah, that was homecoming. And I was up from his sophomore, and it was only me and Magic at the time. And Magic, I don't know whether somebody was supposed to show up for her, or they just didn't show up. But they was calling us out, and you look nice, you look good. You look real good. You did not allow Magic to walk outside. It wasn't even my decision. That was not something I came up with myself. You saw her by herself and not having somebody to walk with, and you said, "Hey, I'm gonna walk with you. We gonna walk. All three of us gonna walk together." Moments like that, like, really instill or make sense why I am the way I am on certain things. Like, I have a no tolerance of no child left behind, or where did you get that from? Like, what makes you open yourself up to father or be a father figure to so, like, when I tell y'all I'm not being dramatic, it's off real. I got 10 people in my mind that refer to you as dad and may have been the only father figure that they had seen or experienced. How do you open yourself being stretched with 2 girls? Like, I never knew or understood that concept.
I just don't like to see people. I really don't like seeing people hurt. I really don't. And the thing with Magic, and Killer may agree with this, is middle child syndrome. And you feel left out. And feel like everybody got to accept you. And everybody getting to accept you. And I love Magic. I mean, I love all basketball players.
Yeah.
And I just it was a moment that I couldn't only imagine y'all being there without me. To think about some of the stuff, and I can't say what not being there. It still hurts me today that I wasn't there when Kirsten got baptized. It hurt me that I was a pastor then. It hurt me that I didn't baptize her. It's just some stuff a dad ought to be there for. You just ought to be there. I mean, I guess probably one of the most memorable things is someone calling me after Katie was born and they couldn't get her to be quiet. And she called, I don't know if she think I got magic powers or what, but she called me and I got her and went to the hospital and I held Katie and she started crying. And
I didn't know that.
And that's just me. I just love kids and I definitely love my kids, and I just don't like to see no kid, no suffering. We got a member now. Her granddaughter plays the piano, and she does competitions and stuff, and most of them be on grand piano in the church we at now got a grand piano. And once she found that out, I said I was sad with the church kids, and she called me as pastor. I want my baby to be able to practice, but and unless I got something going on, I get in the car and go and I open the church so that she can practice, because I want the child to be able to do well. And if I can do anything to help anybody grow, I won't do that. And sometimes it calls for me to be gentle, and sometimes it calls for me not to be gentle.
Yeah. I feel like, this is about to be an honest moment. So as your eldest child, one of the struggles that I've had to overcome is the life that I had, is pretty much so that me and Kendall had with you, is not the life that KJ is now experiencing. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel, let me say it, I can use the word happy on one side and sad on the other. Sad from the fact that the things that I wish I could have done for you all, that I wasn't able to, wasn't able to. The 2-parent household, the stuff, even though, I can't say even though I didn't have the ability to get the stuff that KJ gets or the like, y'all might have had expensive gifts up under the set, but I didn't want you to wake up with one gift or sharing gift like I did when I was a little child. There was 8 of us and I was a bicycle. The wheel was yours, and the handlebar belonged to you, and the brakes belonged to you. I didn't want to do that to you all. You had your own, you had your own thing, but it might not have been what everybody else was getting. Yeah. And that hurt not being able to do that for you all. But then I can be happy that God has put me in a place where I got a wife that I love and love me back. And loves all my children. And able to do, because actually, Another time too, you might have looked in your cash app and like, Daddy, did you make a mistake? That God bless me in a way to be able to do that. I'm happy to be able to do that now. I just wish that I could have done, more back then. But then just have to face the reality. You know me. I ain't want to spend no money I ain't got. Only reason I do credit cards is for the credit report, so I can get to work on that credit stuff.
Listen, my dad is still on my account. Like, he don't look at it as much as he used to, but I had to become okay with that. With you still having access, because I was so mad at you at one point. I feel like I might have told you this before, but I feel like this is a safe space. So, when you and Miss Jessica got married, that was hard for me. That was really hard for me for multiple reasons, but mainly because I felt like I was going through a transition and you were getting something you wanted and I was being forgotten about. And I know that's not the case. Like, looking back on it, I know that wasn't the case, but I had to deal with a lot of not knowing that I had father wounds. You know what I'm saying? Normally people talk about father wounds and they're connected to, fathers not being there, X, Y, and Z. And I feel like I minimized or overlooked the wounds that I did have connected to you because you were present. And I feel like our relationship has gotten better as me being an adult, and you can agree or disagree on this, but for me being an adult, I feel like our relationship has gotten better with me knowing that I'm your daughter. And people may not know what I mean by that, but because it was just me, you, and Kimber for a long time. A long time.
Many road trips. Mainly to the church.
Yeah, mainly to the church. Mainly to the church. And there was never a pastor in Birmingham until I left the house. And that took a long time, even after then, to be a pastor when he left the house. And so how did you navigate, let's talk about me and you. How did you navigate my transition of being the first child to leave the house and to, you know what I'm saying, but you were also transitioning into the marriage that you're in now?
Well, I'm just saying really thought on that one. You leaving was, it was a big thing. That was definitely sadness because, you were my biggest help at the house. And then my wife has even said that Jessica was my sister wife.
Period. I was.
Now, Ray will tell you something, Jessica.
So that go back to Thompson Raymond.
Yeah, I'm leaving it there, but this is another thing. This up being I said sister wife. I really should have said sister wife mama. Because this one I'm going to tell you is more of a mama thing. So, my guys. So, like she said, it was me, and her, and Kimber, and but I still was a grown man.
Come on. It was. I feel like I know what you about to say.
And I was dating here and there, and if I thought the woman was worthy enough, I let them meet Kenneth W. Just do that. They some of them steal secrets. Because you might be good enough for me to take you to McDonald's or to the movies or something, but you have to be something special for me and my girls. So I had one friend that she ended up meeting him, but I don't know if she had met. Y'all admit her back then, but y'all they actually kind of liked her, but I ain't know that like her. But one day we had gone out And I took her home and we were sitting on the sofa talking and everything. And I messed around and fell asleep. So when I woke up, it was probably about 4 o'clock in the morning.
I knew this was the story she was going to do. I knew it.
4 o'clock in the morning.
No, I was.
And I get home and I come in. I got a alarm on the house, so every time I go over, whatever. I don't know, but this little girl right here. I don't even know she. I still don't know if she ever went to sleep. That's right.
Wow.
I come in, I get to the hallway, and this little.
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. You got permission. It's okay. That's how you feel. That's how you feel in the
Don't stop the house. I don't know who you think you are. You know what time it is.
I sure
just come up in this house. Something could happen to me and you, and you out there doing whatever you doing. And this, that. Ooh, Lord Jesus.
How old was she?
Wait, I'm gonna tell you what year it was, because that was the year before I won the cruise to go to with Liberty National. So that was, I think it was 07. That's all we were in there.
So I was in high school, probably 8th or 9th grade.
About 9th grade or something. This girl going out for me. Then I had to remind her who was the daddy. And who was the child. And I said, I might not have hit you in a while, but I would knock you all the way out.
I did, but I said what I said. I didn't know what Daddy didn't do it again. I ain't never had. Don't admit that you don't walk down these streets. That's right. Then I said I fell asleep. I had all the intentions of being home. It still would have been after 12. I feel because, if I didn't care, I probably would have stayed sleeping, got on with my girl. I could have got breakfast cooked for me and some other stuff. I wanted to get home, and when my girl woke up, they dad would be in the bed, and they thought that they had been there all night. All night. But I even got to the point where, because they don't know how to come home themselves. Even in high school, when I let them go somewhere to play with their friends or over Mama Ann's house, Mama Ann's shout out. That shout out Mama Ann to the grace. We had a life because Mama Ann still. That's right. When you go to the stylist or the beautician, what kind of time frame do you normally? She is a stylist. Okay, how long do you take to do your? I may not be the one to ask because they be in and out by an hour. But just sometimes you have to take a lunch and a knapsack and you peel up to the hair salon because you may be in there by a good 5, 6, 7 hours.
Okay, roll with me on this one. Okay, sir. You drop your children off on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Daddy make it plain.
And think you're going to probably see them Saturday morning. You figure they're going to spend the night because the person doing other people have at the same time. And because of our situation, they doing right there for free. Okay? So I understand that. Mm-hmm. So you probably make a phone call Saturday afternoon and say, well, we getting there. I should be home by this evening night there, right?
That's right.
Sunday is time to go to church. And you might got a quarter of your head done. But they got done for school on Monday, but I might not see my children until Sunday night or even Monday morning to come home to change clothes to go to school on Monday morning. So sometimes I never know they're gonna come home now.
So in the defense, Mama Ann wasn't only just doing our hair, she was actually learning us something. Shout out to Kelp's Dreadheads. Mama Ann is the reason why I learned how to hustle in school. I did some of the football players' hair while I was in school at UA. And then Kimberly now has is a loctician. She's a loctician. So if we had not stayed the 3 days every time, your daughter might not have a career.
But this is the same person that I came home a couple of hours late, and I'm the dad now. I'm the dad. Okay.
So,
and guess what? Guess what?
What?
I'm still the dad.
You are. Right. You are the daddy. And with you being the daddy, okay, so I'm about to let you get this off because we're going to let's go on record. This is something I'm curious about. And daddy, please do not say no name when I ask you this question. Just answer the question the way I asked you, okay? I'm having to preference this because my dad is biased. He's a little biased. So you said earlier, I don't think we were recording at the time, you said that you would like you gave me a time frame on being able to dance at my wedding the way that you and Killer dance at hers. And so I said, I know that's something that, especially with me being your not only first child, but your first daughter, that's something that you seem like you look forward to. It's something I look forward to, thinking about it. I'm not trying to be teary-eyed, but I want that too. I want that experience with you too. What are your expectations of my husband? Like when a man is pursuing me, what are you looking for? What are the things that you're approving of?
The first and the most thing is somebody who ain't got to beat down. Did she tell me to be honest?
I mean, this look that he gave me is because it's attached to somebody that he did want to be down. I have to make it plain. Like, okay, keep proceeding. Okay, first you don't want to beat them down. Okay.
A man after God's own heart.
Yeah.
Someone's going to love you as much as you love him. Someone who will understand your ministries.
He said ministries. He said, I heard that it is.
Don't you have more than one ministry?
Yes, Dad.
Okay. Someone who will understand your relationship with your family, with your dad, with your sister. With your sister, hers actually. Somebody that can give you what you need. And really, and I look at you and I think about me, the only thing you need is male companionship because everything else about life you good with. Because that's all my wife did on me. So you just marry me because I'm a woman. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm wonderful. I cook, clean, fix. It ain't nothing I don't and can't do.
So would you say, okay, because, all right, so we're going to get into this. I'm trying to be careful. Yeah, what's up?
When you say a man after God's own heart, like, so we know kind of Jessica's journey, kind of where she is now and kind of where she's going with her ministries and things of that nature. So how do you judge that or weigh that, like a man after God's own heart? Like, what does that look like knowing, the assignment or the purpose that she's walking in? Does that make sense?
It does. I would say that he has to be, first of all, secure in his relationship with God, but sure of himself. Because depending on where he is in his walk, I believe this might step on some toes. I won't say nothing that's going to mess up your...
Just let it go. Just let it
go. I'm one that believes that the man is the head of the house because God ordained it to be that way. The wife might be the pastor, a pastor, and the man just might be on the deacon board. But he still is the head of that house. But when they go to church and the pastor, then you gotta respect that. Yeah. But when you get home, you sure won't go with this. Yeah. So if he's at that level, then he needs to be man enough and godly enough to say that I understand my position at home, but I understand my position at church. But then if he is a pastor and they're kind of on the same level, then there's a way to coexist. But if God has him at the same level or at a greater level than Jessica is, then because of her rearing, she understands, you still understand, right?
Yeah.
That she has a place.
Mm-hmm.
She has a place. It does not demean her, does not take away from her, and that what sickens me about all this equality stuff. You can be equal and be different at the same.
You're hitting the table a little hard.
No.
You got the mic. Okay. I'm trying to make it go, but I'm like, almost over here. The passion that's that pulpit ministry that he hit.
Usually they're rocking it.
Yeah.
You'll be glad he stopped the floor. But that's why, and I'm one that believes that everybody has their ideals or how things should be, and when you post it, there are probably going to be some things in the comments that don't be against this. But I don't take anything away from anyone because everybody has some kind of value. But if you don't have just because I don't believe what you believe, I don't follow what you follow, does not take away from what you.
Yeah.
Because one thing that sickens me, and it might be a little bit off subject, but one thing that sickens me is, I'm not going to let anybody dampen my faith and my belief. And we spend so much time that, it's sad that we can't openly pray at a football game because we feel like we're taking something away or forcing something on somebody who don't believe what we believe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when we're doing what you're saying do, you're taking away from us what we believe.
Yeah.
You're saying we're doing it to you, but then you're turning around and you're doing it to us. Yeah. We all want to be able to cohabitate and be in the same place. You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. I'm going to believe I'm right, and you're going to believe you're right. Yeah. I do my thing, and you do your thing. And don't let me affect you, and I won't let you affect me. This is why there's so much bickering in churches and government and families. Yeah. Because people won't let people
be. Just let them be. And that's why I love that you just said that. But to provide clarity, the order that you were talking about is because we do believe.
Right.
And in our belief system, the belief system that you've instilled in me is that there's an order, right? And so even with you saying that, he has to be a man that is sure of himself, it's so important because it's so easy just to have a heart to heart with you. Being the age that I am, and you're very aware that relationships have been an opportunity of mine. Like it's been a struggle. The whole idea of dating really stresses me out because I am the woman that I am. But to hear you say that's your expectation, I need to hear that because that means that you don't want me to dim my light. Because I believe there might be some fathers that say encouraging their daughters to dim themselves just so they can be chosen, just so they can be picked. And I'm hearing that no, just to stay where you're going, stay on the path that you are in, because not only is it needed, but it's your assignment.
I think it is a man's responsibility to to assist the shine. When me and my wife got married, I'd say that it was even the one before. Makes around the same amount of money. While I had the same amount of fact, when me and my wife got married, I was a little more educated than her. Now she 2 levels higher than me because as opportunities presented itself and it was important to our lives a little bit, being a pastor and being a minister, there's some things that I could do to elevate, but it won't bring to the family what it was done to do it for her. I don't feel any smaller because she got more education. I don't feel any smaller because of our income on the side, man. I'm still a good looking black man.
Okay. Period. But when did you get that confidence? Because I know it's something that you struggled with early on, like when you were younger.
I would say, I'm going to tell you what changed me in a lot of ways with that struggle, with believing that I was good enough for a woman, and because I didn't think I was good enough for your mom. I wasn't there yet. But for some reason, when I went through cancer the first time, my faith, everything about me just turned the page. If you would go back and look at all the pictures you ever find of me, if you find one before 2005, I never smiled. I never smiled. Now, any professional photo, even regular pictures, you find things out there, I had the biggest smile on my face.
Yeah.
I used to take in that, and it wasn't that I didn't want to smile. I couldn't smile. It looked like, I don't know what it looked like, but it didn't look like, it didn't look like a smile. So, I ain't gonna say what I look like out there. We're in the middle of health. But that's what I look like. And the first picture I smiled on, you know the picture. The only picture I got with my clergy robe on. That's the first picture I smiled on with my chemo hair. I had hair like name some of my fingers got some hair like that, baby. You know how my hair was.
It was brittle, like it was like you know
it was naturally wavy.
Oh, you talking about your chemo?
My chemo hair. My chemo hair. I love my chemo hair. I ain't like glad to go through it again. It was nice.
You had that special shampoo.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then it started napping back up. I said, I love species.
Yeah. Desiree, do not alcohol. You know, do not alcohol because he think he's a comedian. Like, we used to be so sick about that in these corny jokes, but now that they got corny. Like, I'm like, hey, like, how do you come up with this? So then I'm gonna take a hard switch because some of these, I want a lot. I asked the question, what was one question that you would want to ask your father to the audience? And so I have a couple of questions here. So I'm just gonna keep spewing them out. I'm not gonna ask follow-up questions because there's one more thing I want you to do right on here. So I got 6 questions. Well, five questions, okay? Then you good. You doing such, y'all tell my dad he doing a good job in the comments. He doing such a good job.
Yeah, buzz.
No, you good, Dad. You good. That's what podcasts are for. Like, we just go. So the first question is, which sacrifice crushed you as a man? So I guess you would have to explain what the sacrifice was, and then
which sacrifice was it?
That's what the question says. Which sacrifice crushed you as a man? If you want to pass, you can pass.
I'm going to pass on that one only because I can't, the moments that I can say I ever felt crushed, I can't say it was because of a sacrifice.
Even if it's not an experience that you had, you've fasted for a long time. So these may be some situations that you may have come across that you may have something to.
Now that you laid it like that, I won't use the word crushed.
Okay.
But I've been bothered by it. Because if it were crushed, it would be hard to overcome that. So I don't want to say bothered by it. As a pastor, I have had, and I can say this conversation this week, moments where, I don't do things for my name to be called. I won pastoral awards and stuff before. That's still shocking when bitch call my name. But you do stuff for the glory of God and not to have your name called. But when you deal with people that are accustomed to calling names, because I grew up in a society where people wanted their names on the stained glass windows and on the pews and on the program and all that. You want your name called because you did. My mama, I got one church and one lady put me to one of these. The winner that my grandmama put in here, blah, 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 that she was proud of that family accomplishment. And there have been moments where I've returned to churches that I pastored to preach church anniversaries and stuff like that. And they take moments to read the church history. And you hear about the man that did this to the walls in 1936. And this was happening in 1954. And then you get to 2000, whatever, and the pastor that was there before me. Then the next thing you hear the pastor that was after you, as if nothing happened the whole time you did ministry at the church. And it ain't about his name being called. It's just the absence of the appreciation for the ministry that took place at that time. And one church that happened at something that happened in ministry that took place at the church ended up in a national magazine. But it didn't make the church's history. And and I had to keep telling myself that moment wasn't about you. And I'm really not trying to, but it's like, I guess my concern is maybe that moment didn't reach the people the way I felt like it should have. And that what I thought was being effective was not effective. Then you begin to question if what you're doing is moving the way you believe that it ought to be moving. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. And that's a good, I'm trying to elaborate on these things, but that's a good revelation, self-reflective moment that you just had. Like, because sometimes we feel like we do stuff that people should appreciate, but it wasn't, it didn't matter, like, because of where people are. And so that's where I think, not even just as a man, but as a leader, sometimes we have to remember the need we feel like we need to meet is not where God, like, if you think about it, Jesus literally, when he said, I'm healing the blind, like, he healed the blind, and then he spoke whatever he needed to speak to comfort him, right? Stand up, your sins are and sin no more, right? He said stand first because that was the miracle that was needed. And then he said sin no more because that was what's needed to sustain the miracle. And so when we misappropriate the need for our needs, we misappropriate the effectiveness. And so that's what I just heard you say. So that was good there. If y'all want to know, I get my preaching skills from him. What is your definition?
I was going to say this.
Oh, my bad.
But I was hearing as we talk about this episode being about Father's Day and like heart father, right? What I was hearing is that sometimes, society, I ain't gonna say society, but we look at men be, strong, to keep going, don't have no pain in these things. What I was hearing is that sometimes, like, even though they may not express it, but men, I'm going to say specifically Black men, sometimes just need to hear a thank you or appreciation. Because like he said, he's like, I'm doing the best that I can, the best I know how to do. I don't even know if it's being effective enough because, not that he's looking for the affirmation, but sometimes just that, hey, this is good, or you're doing a great job, will kind of give them the stamina or the inspiration to keep going, or to do something different, to do something that may be more effective if it's being communicated that way. So I think we just have to be a little bit more mindful sometimes just to share, or, just to share and be more appreciative of those that are around us and doing for us. That's good.
And to tag on what you just said, because of where the problem comes is not that it's not being said, it's that if someone else does the same thing or something similar, if you shut up on me, I believe you ought to shut up on him.
Give me the same energy. Keep that same energy.
If you get it posted on the front of the Birmingham Times, I know that probably ain't no paper no more, but when you get it posted, it's okay. If you get it on the front page of the Birmingham Times for somebody else, it shouldn't be on your, what that thing y'all have, Bebo, what that page what that thing y'all have? It should be on your Bebo cover, you know ain't nobody gonna really, I should go to AOL.com and check it on to look for it, because if you have the heart of a Christian, you're going to, just as my child. And when she was a member of my church, and she was a dancer, and Jasmine Farron was a dancer, and I can't remember the other girl that used to do dance with y'all in Kendall. I praise all of them the same.
Yeah.
I praise all of them the same, and probably praise them more to let them know how much I appreciate them, because my girls don't get more when we got home.
That's so good.
No, nobody should feel any lack, especially if that person is your father, your husband, your pastor. Those people you ought to want to.
Yeah, that's good, Daddy. That's, man, wow. Okay. The next question is, what is your definition of love, and how do you express it to your children?
We're talking about short answers.
It's big.
Jesus is love. As a matter of fact, preparing to teach a Bible study, get to do my first Bible study at Senior Center on my birthday. I look forward to that. And I'm talking about living like Jesus. And it actually stemmed from originated the thoughts, all that came through a Bible study, because one I've been doing since I've been battling cancer, we have not been doing standard Bible study. We've been just doing the Bible plans. So God, I don't want the studies to be affected by my treatments and stuff. So one of the ones we've done recently is about loving like Jesus, but that's the thing that I've always believed is what Jesus equates to love. And how I treat people, I try to treat them as I believe that, well, two things. How I believe Jesus would treat. And the other scripture is I treat people the way I want to be treated. So love is a reflex, can also be a reflective thing.
So
because if I want you to love on me, I should mind loving on you.
Yeah.
So I can show you how I want to be loved.
Yeah.
Now, if your mirror don't work, then I can show my love somewhere else. Oops.
And that's your definition of love. So how do you express that to your children?
I teach them Jesus, show them Jesus, which is showing them me, and so they can experience that love through what I call fatherhood is a ministry to me.
Ooh.
I mean, just think the word Father. Father, I stretch. Father. So if I can, if I know how good my father, and I ain't talking about what James Smith said, my father is to me and what I expect of him, then I'll take some lessons from that and use some of that as I follow my children. And as a father, you don't like everything I say.
You're right. You're right about that. Good job. Next question. I think I would like this one. It says, were there hopes and dreams you had for your own life that you had to sacrifice to take care of your family?
hopes and dreams as in
like something that you wanted
that
for
I
yourself.
wanted to be able to do. That's a lot of things.
Just give us one.
I mean, just growing up and not traveling much, I wanted to travel more. Still got a dream of making it to Hawaii one day. And a lot of places I probably would have wanted to go and do things I wanted to do because of it was more not because of parenting. It was more because of funding. Because the funding one day I would go and take me out and for somewhere you need to go with me, then I would pay somebody to take care of y'all.
Yeah.
Well, I had no church, we're doing fun. I had no church ladies that were willing to keep
Shout out to Costello Scott.
the Shade Roll
family, they held us down.
If it wasn't for Shade Roll, I would not have had a dating life.
Yeah, most definitely.
Well, they don't got married.
Yeah, those women, it was so important, but we learned from them as well. Like, those are some solid relationships to where I'm grateful. Like, even Keisha Douglas, like, she posted, I posted a picture of me and Kendall, and she commented on under it. She was like, my girls, right? To see the connection that we had and for them to be able to see us grow,
Right.
And develop, it's rewarding for others too. That's part of the story. All right, so okay, and we're gonna specifically talk about me. This is a question. It says, "Now that I'm grown, what would you have done differently when it came to raising me?"
The only thing I said I would have done differently, I think, and you say you.
Yeah.
I feel now that I put more on you than, well, I ain't gonna say I put more. I allow you to accept more responsibility because a lot of stuff you did on your own that I didn't take it with, and Lord knows I appreciate it because you saw your dad needing help. We didn't have a nasty house. I didn't. When I wasn't able to cook, because I cooked every night if I had to. But then when you got to the point where you cook, you going to school and cooking and all that, and I appreciated it. I still appreciate it, but I appreciated it then because I needed the help. I just feel some kind of way because I feel like it took away a little bit of your childhood. You were becoming a little quicker than you needed to become, all in the effort of trying to help your dad. So thank you for it, but that's about the only thing that probably will change.
Yeah, I can feel you on that. Oh my God. All right, so the last question is, what has been the greatest challenge in your manhood, and how has that affected your fatherhood?
Dating when I wasn't married and trying to give the attention to a mate or potential mate without affecting what I had with my girls.
I gotta elaborate on this. So what advice would you give a man that is in that same predicament as far as like having children, whether they're in the house or not, to manage and seek a mate while they're managing and being excellent fathers?
I think I did better when I married Justin, started dating Justin. I've been in a different place spiritually and that too, and then there always going to be that moment of separation before there come a moment of togetherness. But intentionally seeking that person that you're dating, finding out where they are with where you are. I mean, I had this person that in between after me and your mom broke up, that this one was model beautiful. And she liked me. She found out I ain't no thought she would like me, but she liked me. And actually, we ended up not dating, not because of you and Kim, but that was during Justin time. She had issues with me taking care of Justin, and that should have been more, but I didn't mind because I loved Justin in a way that I loved him, even though I did not birth him into the world. There just has to be a place where you have to know that this person can be comfortable where you are. And then you don't try to force it, but almost the quicker you get to it, especially when you get older, you ain't got time to waste. When you're younger, maybe, but I believe all time is valuable. And if somebody's going to feel it, they're going to feel it. And rather than drag on something and making it worse for you or the kids, then, just start, I'm going to use the term dibbling and dabbling a little bit to introduce the situation, have conversations with the kids a little sooner, tell them about the person. And a kid like, now somebody like Jessica would say, I don't like her, no, just how she ain't my mom, so.
Unfortunately, he's correct. I was very childish.
She ain't my mama. Her name ain't. Oh,
we don't need her. We got the three of us. We don't need her.
So actually, the Lord sent my wife right on time when Jessica was leaving because that made things a little easier on that. But it took a little while, but Jessica got tough skin, but she has a kind heart.
I do have a kind of heart. People always see the toughness, but I do have a kind of heart, and it's just me. I had to apologize to the woman down because she got it. I took her through it, and she stuck through it.
And the first interference / fight / feud was about some Popeye's chicken.
It was because only God brought real food. We come as package deals, so I don't know what you thought this was, but yeah, why she think that it's okay to bring food in the house for you and we hungry too? Like that was my whole thing, and so Kendall thinks I'm gonna be a bonus mother because I've taken every bonus mom that we've had through pure hell, and it's okay because God's gonna grace me for it.
There are some stories we will not tell on.
Yeah, we won't tell you.
We get on camera.
Yeah, just tell it. I love this story. Yes. Speaking of Desiree, do you have anything today? Or just in general about the conversation?
I think what has warmed my heart is just to, like you said, the society or the stigma would be that there are no good fathers.
Yeah.
That there are no good Black fathers, right? But that's not the case. And so it's really good when you actually get to hear the heart of a father.
Yeah.
And I know that even though he said starting out his journey with God wasn't as strong as it is now, but that's really what I'm hearing is his foundation. His relationship with God is also the reflection that he's reflecting out in the world, which I think is beautiful, which is why he can love on other people.
Yeah.
That's not his biological children, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the heart of God. That's the heart of his Father. You know what I'm saying? So that's been just really refreshing. Even, I was thinking back over, my journey through childhood. I grew up in a single parent home with my mom. And, my dad was there, but as I got older, I was realizing that some of the things that I was dealing with was abandonment, right? Because he wasn't there, or there was times he said he was coming and wasn't. And, God has really, especially last year, really has used, this journey of mine to really tap into some things in my heart that I thought was that I had released and let go. Me and my dad was cool, but I didn't realize there was still some underlying things still there that he dealt with. And so now, I saw my dad about a couple of weeks ago, and at my grandmother's house, and I know he hugged me about 5 times throughout that whole time. And I could feel that he loved me. You know what I'm saying? Like before, it's like, yeah, I'm assuming that he does because I'm his daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, through this journey, this process within this last year, I was able to see his humanness. You know what I'm saying? To see, like, and to be honest, I really don't know a whole lot of my dad's backstory just because we just haven't had those types of conversations. But this journey has allowed me to see him where he is and be able to accept him in the way he's able to love me. Because I think, you know, as girls, as daughters, you know, we look for our dads for a certain type of affirmation.
Yeah.
And I know that's a part that I never really got from my biological father, but God was so gracious enough. Like, he's placed, you know, some guys in my path, you know, that has, even my godfather now, like, he's so funny. He's a retired, my dad's in the military. Matter of fact, he was in the military for like 25 years, you know, retired VA for like 20 years. You're talking about 45 years of military structure, right? And you need a question answered. He's very analytical, you know what I'm saying? Wisdom. But when it came to like, just like that soft, tender affection that you look for from your father, that's just not my dad. And so I was able to see him for who he is now and accept that. And so when I got to see him, man, it was so cool that I could just see it was different. I think he realized that it's been some type of transition that's happening as he's watching me grow in my walk with God, right? And so just to be able to hear your dad, it's really the heart for me. Because at the end of the day, you know, that's the thing that matters the most to God is our heart. And our heart posture towards him and our heart posture towards people.
I think that's a great summarization of what just transpired, because I was like, what are we going to talk about, God? And the thing about I love about you, Dad, and just this was a great reminder, is that you operate in the obedience of God, and that's what makes you a good father. And I think sometimes fathers may potentially lean on their own understanding, because the own understanding is, I didn't have a dad growing up, so I don't know how to be a dad. It's a lot of things that you didn't see granddaddy do, but you did for others. And I want to tell you thank you. Like, I want to tell you thank you, not only about being a father, but just being a man, just man off of God's own heart, and giving me the foundation, or giving us the foundation of God. Like, just to see your willingness, your openness to grow and develop has really changed me and really motivated me. So even having conversation with you, and you trusted me. Like, this is when my dad said something about my husband, right? I want to make this point. When my dad said something about my husband and him expecting my husband to honor the ministries of my life, my dad does it. My dad does it. Every time I am in his presence, or if we have Saturday morning prayer for our family, that's something that the Lord put on me to lead, right? And anytime it's something that it needs to shift, or he's sensing something, he respectfully comes to me as if I have the authority, right? That I'm the one that's leading. He submits to what God is doing through me. And so it's not, this is so good. My dad is not doing anything with me that he doesn't expect out of my husband. And so therefore I shouldn't expect anything less. I can't change the way I minister. I can't do X, Y, and Z because you want me to, because my father is giving me the example. And so I appreciate you, Dad. Like, I appreciate you so much, even more now, and grateful that we are able to document this conversation. So there's evidence for me. If nobody else if I only watch this a million times, this episode is successful because a lot of people can't say or don't have the opportunity to do this with them. And it's by the grace of God that you're still here, because I don't know if you ever heard, but my dad, he survived cancer already before, but this cancer that has arose has been here now. It's a little bit over 2 years. We've been dealing with this Almost 2 years?
Almost.
Almost 2 years. And to see my dad minister through that, like, that's process of ministry. This is a reward for me to be able to do this with my dad. And so my heart is that you find it in your heart to, first of all, if you need to forgive your father for anything, then this is the best time to do so, right? Father's Day is not as glorified because most fathers weren't present, unfortunately. But I have proven evidence that doesn't have to be the norm. There's proven evidence that my dad made mistakes. My dad has not been married to the same woman. My dad went through divorce. We went through a lot of things, but my dad was still my dad. And I did not, thank you, Holy Spirit, I feel you so heavy right now. I did not congregate that with him as the husband that he was to my mom or was not, or the failures that he had, but he was still my dad. And so there's an honor that is expected. Right? If we're believers, there's an honor. If you say you believe in Jesus and you know Jesus, there's honor due for your dad. Now, what that looks like may be different for a lot of people. There's a situation. Go to God in it. But the hatred that we have towards fathers, the disrespect clearly that we have towards fathers, we have to get that healed within us. We have to get that healed within us because we will never prosper. And we will never go forward because I know a lot of people that have lost their fathers, unfortunately. And I know that they wish that they had the opportunity to do something like this with their father. And so I want to urge you, I want to encourage you, the same questions or the same type of frame. Like, you don't have to have a podcast and have a conversation with your father. You don't have to have a setup. You don't have to have a mic. You can have time. Me and Daddy have extra set at a table. He cooked breakfast. You remember that, Daddy? He cooked breakfast. And we had a heart-to-heart conversation. I was scared out of my mind to have that conversation. We had a heart-to-heart conversation. We can do this because we have done the work on the outside. And so my encouragement for you, for Father's Day, give yourself a gift. Give yourself a gift of freedom. Give yourself a gift of forgiving your father. Forgive them from a place of, okay, maybe he didn't know, or maybe this, or just give them a way out and a way into a better version of themselves, right? And so I just want to encourage you guys to open up that space, And if you've tried, I pray that God heals your heart and allows you to move forward in peace. In peace. And fathers, I hope y'all heard my dad's heart on this matter. And learn something. And so, normally we allow people, I know you know because you watch my show. Normally we allow people to have a final thought, but I'm going to be selfish in this moment. I want you to speak into that camera, and I'm going to walk out the door. And I want you to speak to your children, your final thoughts to your children. So I'm going to go, y'all, and Desiree and Daddy going to have to end this one with the life movie or something. Okay. Over there. Y'all let me know when y'all done pressing record.
Yeah, I see it. I'm going to say, I was sitting around, I knew that moment was coming, and I know what she was going to do. But my intention was to look at this camera and speak to my children.
Wow. Come on, Spirit. Yeah.
You're a good man. Good man.
To say that one, it just made me cry. But to my children, I know that this is supposed to air the Thursday before Father's Day.
Yes, sir.
I want to first say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. But I want to send this, I guess I'm going to call it a shout out to the ones, the reason why I get to celebrate Father's Day. To Jessica, my oldest. I still remember you being born. I still remember the day that you were born and how angry I was because I had just had this dream of speeding to the hospital and being pulled over by the police and let them know that my wife was having a baby and I need you to guide us to the hospital, and they had the nerve for you to try to come on after it snowed, and I couldn't do that. And you were born on that day at 1:03 in the morning after stressing your mom all day. The only child I've known when you're supposed to come out, you was going deeper. I just love the woman you have become, the woman you are becoming, and you spoke to things about your husband, and one day God will grant you the desires of your heart. And my prayer is that I will be there to be everything that you need me to be for that moment. And thank you for making me your father. Those who don't know, Jessica was named after my godmother who passed away. Jessica was born on January 20th of 1 year. And my godmother passed away January the 19th. And I just knew I was pushing for her to come before Jen be born on January 19th, but Jessica had a mission to have her own day. So she was named after my godmother because of my love for her, and I want her to honor her life by carrying that name, because she's the only child whose name that did not start with a K. For Kendall, Kendall is Kenneth Jr., because I wanted a boy, I couldn't have a boy, so I decided to name her after me. She grew up a mama's baby, but she's evolved to be a little bit of both. She shows her love to her father, and I just thank her for the woman that she's become, for making me a grandfather, and leaving me enough to be inclusive in a life and still be involved in my ministry. When you and your family can be somewhere else, you're still a part of your dad's ministry. And I just thank you for all that you do for me. For Kirsten, who I mentioned earlier, did not get to spend the time with as I did with my other daughters. I love her dearly, and I just believe God has great things in store for her. You're a genius. You're a wizard. You're between you and your brother, y'all are the smartest one of the bunch. I don't think Kendall just to get mad at me on that, because they're spectacular in their ability to learn and comprehend things. Your first year of college, and I know things get a little different when you get out there on your own, but I just invite you to trust God and hear what your mom and dad have to say. Listen to your sisters, because they can tell you a lot. They've learned a lot over the years. But I appreciate and love you for the daughter that you are, and look forward to what God is going to do with your life. Now, to my one and only, the only child I can say is my favorite son. My favorite son, KJ, Kenneth II. I just love you, man. I know we have our challenges because you love your mama, and I still know, as I look at my memory pictures that pop up, I don't know what the transition took place. So for the first three years or so, you don't have nothing to do with your mom. You use your dad's boy, but you don't cling to your mama. I know you love her because I love her too. As I said earlier, you're a genius. You're special. I'm just looking forward to what God is going to do with your life. I don't know what happened to the little preacher when you were only 2 or 3 years old, but I know God is still dealing with you, and I'm just looking for great things to happen in your life. Being that your daddy brought you here in other years, I won't get to experience with you all the things I won't get to experience with your sisters, but I trust that you will be the man that I'm hoping that I'm showing you to be, and be greater. And all of you all be greater than I ever am or ever was. I love you all. I just want you to know that, and that that any Father's Day that I can be your father is a great Father's Day. So thank you for all you've done, all you're doing. By the time this airs, I'll be recovering, and I know y'all be right there by my side, looking on me in the way that you do. I love you. God bless you, and I'll turn it over to Desiree.
Hey, thank you so much for sharing your heart today. I do believe through this conversation that, it's going to be able to set some hearts free. And it's my prayer is that it opens the door to some much needed healing. Because like you said, I was listening to some of those questions, and there's definitely a lot of hurt out there, But my prayer, especially with this platform in general, that we can just bring a sense of love and a sense of healing to those that are listening. So I thank you. And I thank you guys for listening. And until next time, life could be much more simple if you just ask. Peace, y'all.